Car Hater here. Something a little different. This is actually a few cars that are actually going to be discontinued for 2018. This is it for some of these vehicles. And if you see some of these photos, you'll definitely agree that, hey, you know what? The time has come. And a lot of it has to do with the stupidity of automakers, if you ask me. So anyway, first up is the Buick Verona. You know, something that I actually wanted to rent. And what was it? Avis? They didn't even know they fucking rented the car. They're so fucking stupid. Anyway, I never got to drive it or whatever. The car ran from basically 2012 up until this year, and they're going to drop it. I mean, I seen some good deals on it, and I think they even had like a little turbo model to it or whatever. Not like it had any power or anything like that, but, you know, GM's going through a little transition. If you look at the second car, is the Chevy SS. They have dropped the Holden. They sold off. Australian brand is gone. Opel's gone. Vauxhall is gone. So they kind of sold out. The Chevy SS was a really cool car. And what's funny is it was off to a slow start. And then it was doing really good pre-owned. And then it became somewhat sought after, like a cult classic type of thing. 2014 to 2017, this vehicle. And it's a shame. I mean, the name was fucking stupid, Chevy SS. I don't even know where they came up with it, but they only sold about like 2,600 of them, and there was basically a big boost in 2016. Like I was saying, you know, all of a sudden the car became hot when they thought, hey, they're going to discontinue the car. But nevertheless, it's got to happen because you know what? They're just basically rebadging these things over here, and it's over with. You know, Chevy is sold out. You could read up on that. It actually went to a French company. Next up is the Chrysler 200. So it's kind of interesting. I've been in these. I mean, they're all right. To me, they're like rental cars. They discontinued the Dart at the end of 2016. You know what's funny? If you really look at a lot of this stuff, it's like the death of the mid-size car. So this car ran from 2011 to 2017, and, you know, it has some sort of like Alpha connection in there, Fiat connection, all types of things or whatever, but just didn't quite hit it. The Dodge Viper. Now, the Viper has been really shitty for quite some time, if you ask me. It just hasn't made the mark. And the original ones were unbelievable. I mean, this car has run since 1992. And the funny thing is, to me at least, if you throw a 92, 93 in there with the side pipes, or even put in the 96 GTS, it destroys the look of these newer ones. I think it's just basically a cooler head-turning type of vehicle. The new ones just don't do it for me. I see them, and I'm not even impressed. I don't even really look at them. I know they're faster, but it's just that, you know, electronics, airbags, fucking nav, and power windows. I think Carroll Shelby made the first one great, but this thing has just lost its path and way. I mean, the what do you call it, can destroy it. The Demon, you know, is the big killer now, and of course the SRT brand seems to get more recognition out of this. The Challenger, you know, even the other one, the Hellcat, seemed to get more recognition than this car did. So I don't know. I'm not going to miss it. They've had a long run with just dying to sell stuff and just, you know, stop production. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. All right. So next up is the Hyundai Azera. What's funny is I like this car. It's a weird car. I saw one. We had one in 2006 at the dealership. Okay, that's right. It's been made that long. And the car was just cool. It was just something different. The funny thing is that it should have been kind of considered like the Genesis or the Equus, or, you know, how they kind of spun that bullshit with the Genesis lineup. But it just never did. And the funny thing about it is that it's a lot of car for the money. And it's being sidelined for the new 2008 Sonata, which I think is fucking ugly. This Azera is a really good-looking car, you know. It's just a little different. I don't know. It just looks odd. You know, it kind of does look like the Lexus on the side a little bit, but you know what? I like that different weird vehicle. All right, next up is the Infiniti QX70. Rented one of these things, driven a bunch of them. Terrible, terrible visibility. Okay? This thing's been around basically since 2003. You know, the FX series, FX35, the 45. I don't know. I like it. The look. I know it's ugly, but I like it. And it kind of owned this luxury crossover. I mean, this one and the Nissan Murano definitely did kick a lot of ass in the crossover segment. But I guess it just people just don't want that anymore. You know what I mean? It's time to do something different. So, 2017, that's it. Now, next one, I can't even believe they still fucking make this thing. You know, I do these all the time. I've done a lot of videos on these for clients, and I never really think much about them. They're a nice box, but I don't think of them as being really off-road at all. This thing's been around for 10 years now, since '07, so it's been there. I think they could have did more with this. The inside I really don't care for. It reminds me of the Compass. They made a Dodge version, the Nitro or whatever, possibly too. I like the Nitro, but I don't know. This thing is just dead, and it's funny. It's got no pizzazz to it. Next up on the line is the Lexus CT200H, the hybrid. I've driven this thing too. I do like it. It's ugly. I don't like Lexus, but something about this car I always kind of thought was weird. It's just different. But yeah, that's it. From 2011, didn't really last long. Didn't really sell too well. Believe it or not, they do make a sedan version of this car too. I'm not sure if they're going to get rid of that thing, but that's even uglier. Next up is the Mercedes. Now, here's the funny thing. Mercedes-Benz BClass electric drive, 2014 to 2017. I kid you not. I just saw one of these things in Jersey about a month ago, and I had no fucking idea what it was. I was like, what the fuck is this shit? Here in Jersey, New York area, we don't really see as many electric cars, I guess, as they would have. Of course, in LA, it's a big thing. But it's so weird that they're actually phasing this out, Mercedes-Benz, when there's no replacement. They say it could do about 87 miles on a charge, but I don't know. I think it's kind of strange. So next electric car to get the hatchet is the Mitsubishi IMA. I don't even know what the fuck. MIEV or whatever. My EV, whatever you want to call it. I do know about this. I've seen them over the years. Never no, wait. Yeah, I did see it at a car show. It truly does look like an electric car. Since 2012, this thing has been around. You can just get about 60 miles on a charge. Not really great, nothing special. But you could definitely pick these things up cheap. To me, this thing is like a security vehicle or something like that. They had good tax credits on these things, but it just never took off. It does truly look like an electric car, though. All right? But it's a real piece of shit. Next up is the Mitsubishi Lancer. This thing's been around since 2002. And Mitsubishi's new goal, I was working with Mitsubishi there for a while, and I have to say it's very difficult. Mitsubishi really lost their way. I can tell you I've been on some conference calls with them or with head people, and they're fucking morons over there at Mitsubishi. They have no idea what they're doing. I am dead fucking serious. The way that they speak to dealers, I can tell why they have a big problem there at Mitsubishi. They're coming back out with the Eclipse in a crossover. I think that's a stupid fucking move. But their whole goal, Mitsubishi, believe it or not, is to just do SUVs. And Nissan has a part of that now. They've kind of like taken them over a little bit. We'll see what happens. But Mitsubishi is really trying to get out of cars. And those other two little pieces of shit will probably follow suit. The Mirage, the sedan and the hatchback, the G4 or whatever. But it's really fucked up. And the funny thing is, you should go on Mitsubishi's website. They still show the 2015 Evo. And the funny thing is, there were still leftovers that we were selling at the dealership just this year. And Mitsubishi's like so out of it that they're still showing fucking things from 2015, and they know that the Evo just lost its way too. And it's funny, you know, if you look at Subaru, they still have the STI, they still have the WRX. You know what it is, guys? It's all about your fucking pricing structure, and that's what you got to realize. All right, number 12, the Nissan Quest. I like the Quest. Weird fucking vehicle. It is ugly, very weird on the inside. This thing was around since 1993, the name at least. This new ugly look came about later on, but just a weird minivan. Never really sold too well. I'll tell you, in the beginning, the Quest sold very well. It also was the Mercury Villager, and it did pretty well. Great reliability. This fucking junk box. The Smart Fortwo. Another one from Mercedes-Benz, and they're actually dropping these, but they're going to make a electric version. I guess maybe they're going to replace that other fucking nonsense I showed you with and try to make something electric in this. I just don't see it working either. You know what's funny? For the amount of money you pay for this, you could probably get, you could get a Corolla that will give you the same kind of gas mileage, so it just doesn't pay. Next up is the Volkswagen CC concept car, custom coupe, they call it the CC. So this thing ran since 2009, and it hasn't, it's just kind of plummeted. It had that Mercedes-Benz CLS look to it. It's a shame, the four-door, it's its lowest volume car with sales nearly almost 50% for the first 7 months of this year. Basically it's a Passat on aerodynamics, if you ask me, but I don't know. I just there's supposed to be a replacement for it. It's just time. The Passat sells well, I guess, compared to this thing. I don't really care for the new Passat. It's made in America bullshit. The last one, number 15, is the Volkswagen Touran. I love the Touran when it came out in 2004. Great vehicle, I used to drive them all the time. V6, V8, they had the V10, the diesel. Always wanted one too. I used to drive them. They had basically, to me, like a Phaeton interior. Great gauges. This thing lost its way a long time. And so much so that the fucking thing is like $70,000. They're out of their fucking minds over there at Volkswagen. And that's why these things don't sell. But now the Atlas is in. That big ugly fucking Atlas that's so boring looking, and it's going to take its place. But this was just a little quick car hater review of some of these vehicles that, hey, if you really look at them, you know why they're kind of being discontinued. And hey, hopefully we'll see some other ones get discontinued too. That there's just so many fucking vehicles out there when you think about it. And a lot of them need to go. If you look at Mercedes-Benz, if you look at BMW, how many models they have, it's out of fucking control. But that'll be another car hater. Anyway, subscribe, look at everything that's going on. Always trying to keep up now with these car hater reviews.
Follow Automotive Ad Builder on our social networking sites to keep up with the latest videos, reviews, autos for sale, and vehicle marketing solutions. We also welcome any questions or comments. One of our staff will be happy to help you.